getting into today's topic, that is cloud and container infrastructure monitoring, for which we will be seeing on how applications manager render optimal Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud Platform. Along with that, we will be also looking into how we can observe and utilize the cloud resources wisely. As we are aware, during the pandemic, organizations has been mostly working from home, mainly depending on cloud computing. According to Gartner research, it is expected that the cloud services spending will grow from 63 billion US dollars in 2020 to 81 billion US dollars by 2022, thereby marking a solid exceptional growth in cloud computing. Speaking of which, let's have a brief look on a distinctive cloud execution model, that is serverless computing. In serverless computing, the resources and the storage needed by the users are dynamically allocated by the cloud service provider based on the user's demand using pay-per-use policy. So considering the traditional approach where we have a various physical resources involved, for which the installation and maintenance would be highly difficult. Whereas using serverless computing, you can have an easy deployment with efficient disaster recovery and high flexibility setup, offering backend as service and function as service. Though cloud computing has its own merits, but in order to use it efficiently, there are certain factors to be considered with priority, like performance, availability, security, interoperability, and cost. Here stands the compelling need to have cloud computing monitor to mitigate the challenges. Looking into the important question of the day, why do we actually need applications manager at first place to monitor cloud and container infrastructure? So on a traditional cloud platform, in the event of any issue, you'll get a vague notification, but you will not be having enough of idea to know about how to further troubleshoot the issue. For instance, if cloud solution is already implemented in applications manager, now you will be able to track the cloud services, and if there's any deviation in the instance, automated out of box notification will reach you on time. Once the notification is received, root cause issue can be drilled down and taken a corrective measures right away. Currently, we support the famous cloud apps like Amazon Web Services, Oracle Cloud, Google Cloud, Office 365, Microsoft Azure, OpenStack. Also, we monitor major Amazon's serverless services like Lambda, SQS, S3, DynamoDB. Along with that, we also support Autonomous Database by Oracle. Heading into our first topic, that is gaining insight into AWS infrastructure. Amazon Web Services being a widely used secure cloud services platform for which Applications Manager render effective monitoring of various services related to compute, container, database, load balancing, storage, notification, queue. Not just that, we also monitor the billing services that's been used in your added Amazon account. So let me just show you our product UI to observe the AWS monitor. So here, let me show you how we can add a new Amazon monitor. Here, after clicking add new monitor, let's go for under the cloud apps, you can see the Amazon. So this is how the add monitor page looks like. You can give all the basic details like display name, access key ID, secret access key, and polling interval after choosing the account type. The key feature is that we provide you multiple options of services where if you wanted to choose them, you can choose them, and you can monitor all the wide range of the services in a single pane. So once after choosing all the details and you can add the monitor. So in order to show you the data collection related information, let me show you back again to a added monitor. So likewise, under the cloud apps, you can see the Amazon monitor. You have to click onto that. So you'll be getting the overview page here. And here under the monitor information, you can get all the details when you try adding the monitor. And under the overview, you will be getting all the details related to your availability and performance, and this is pretty commonly seen on all the monitors. And in for Amazon account, you will be able to see all the resource related information that's been added, and the service related details can be tracked over here in the overview tab. Moving to the next tab, that is compute. So the compute tab will have all the granular view of your basic details regarding to your EC2 and also regarding to your Lambda and Elastic Beanstalk environment. So I'll be showing you all the monitors one by one. So for the EC2 instances, you can have a clear functionality view from using the applications manager, where we will be showing you all the metrics, OS level metrics, along with the attached EBS volumes. So here under OS overview, you will be able to see all the basic resource allocation or utilization details. So if you wanted to monitor your OS level metrics and make sure that the CloudWatch agent has been deployed, moving to the attached volumes, here you will be able to see all the volume related information. So it gives you more idea about the EBS volumes that's been present in the EC2 instances. So going to the next monitor, that is AWS Lambda. Basically, Amazon Lambda is a serverless event-driven service that runs your code in response to events. And we monitor the same Lambda function that's been present in your Amazon account here. The key metrics like invocation along with the graph view, and not just that, we will be also mentioning monitoring all the execution related information along with its duration for a function to take place. And if in case of any delivery failures are there, those details can be tracked here along with its iterator age. So moving to the last compute option that we have, that is nothing but the Elastic Beanstalk. Here under the, we have a wide range of rich metrics under the Elastic Beanstalk. So we'll be monitoring that one by one. Elastic Beanstalk service basically focuses on the deploying and scaling the application that manages various AWS services. So using Applications Manager, you can track the EBS instance status along with the hosted AWS services. Moving to the Performance tab, here you can get a unified view regarding to the details like CPU, disk, and the network related informations can be tracked here. Under Request tab, the total request along with the summary info can be viewed. And the key metric to be mentioned is like you will be able to see the graphical representation for your top 5 instances, that is due to the max request and error request. So here under the latency, the average time taken by the application or the instance to complete the overall request can be monitored here. The instances like instance related KPIs like CPU usage or disk usage can be monitored here. Recent events that occurred in this environment and along with its detailed information can be monitored in event details. So going back to the monitor, the next we have Elastic Container Service. So here, just like I've told you for the compute, you will have a granular view. So let me go to the monitor. So this is how our ECS monitor looks like. Here we will be focusing mainly on the cluster related information that lets us know about the exact statistics of the task and the services that's been present here. And the overview, you will be able to see all the cluster related information and related to the cluster tasks and the cluster services. Cluster performance lets you know about the key metrics like CPU and memory usage and related to the disk and network related information. Under the task, it's an important tab here because as it gives you all the details regarding to your task status, connectivity, and memory related configured details. And not just that, you can even get to know about your health status, last status, and the desired status. So this lets you know about this will be determining the health here. So if anything goes wrong, you can just have a quick view here and get to know about it. Also, we have the compare reports in it can be commonly seen in other EC2 other monitors as well. So the task info lets you know about the task details related to its container information. The next tab you'll be seeing will be regarding to the services that lets you know about the performance that can be optimized by tracking these services. which are running or pending, along with its CPU related information and when was it created. All those details can be mentioned, monitored here. Moving to the last tab, that is container instances. Here the container instance details like the status of that particular instances, and along with the running status and whether on the version related information and when was it registered, all the details, along with the resource utilization for the CPU, memory, network, and the file system can be tracked here. Now we will be seeing to the next tab, that is database. Under the database, we will be focusing on the two different Amazon services, that is RDS and DynamoDB. With App Manager, you can know all the monitoring attributes related to the database, like latency, throttling errors, and all those details. So, which will let you know more clear about the cluster related information and also regarding to your Aurora DB present. So moving to the next tab, that is Elastic Load Balancing. Here we will be showing you all the details regarding to your application load balancer and network load balancer. So let me just quickly show you how our application load balancer monitor looks like. Here we will be focusing mainly on the errors and the target related information. From the error tab, we can observe the connection error and the load balancer error along with its reason. So here you can even configure an alert if in case if a particular value reaches high. Under the target group, for the particular target, you can compare the attributes like if it's healthy or unhealthy. Not just that, we will be also able to compare it with the HTTP error codes here. This tab exclusively shows you about the details related to your target, and if in case if its health is down, then you can get to know about its reason. The next one we will be seeing is regarding to S3 buckets. So Amazon Simple Storage Service will monitoring will let you know about the details regarding to the storage and request tabs. Here we will be focusing on the virtual folders and number of objects regarding to the bucket related information can be monitored efficiently here. And next tab will be regarding to our SNS, and this SNS monitor helps the users to achieve high delivery rates of notification by monitoring every components like message throughput, delivery rate, and if a notification is failed, and you can know more about the networking about your message notifications. And by using the region wise and the topic wise metrics, you can focus on the targeted users. Moving to the next one, that is SQS. With Applications Manager, SQS Monitor, you can measure all the available queues that's been running in this particular SQS service, along with the vital details like its message arrival or rate and message process and the message related information in this particular queue. The most important tab is the billing. Here we will be seeing about the monetary data of your Amazon Web Services by proactively monitoring the services in your AWS environment. Also, you can have a graphical representation here for better understanding. For important metrics like expenditure, services, tax, the threshold can be set, and in case if you get on so if the value gets high, you can get an alert automatically. So we have an exclusive data collection setting. So let me just show you. So for that, we have to go from admin performance polling, and a separate tab for Amazon will be available. So choose on that. So here, if you wanted the EC2 instances to be chosen by a unique identifier, you can choose that particular option. And if in case, if there's any terminated EC2 instance, and if you wanted an alert, then this particular option can be chosen. So these particular options lets you know if there's any terminated entities like EC2, Lambda, EBS, DynamoDB, ELB. And if you wanted to get it removed automatically, then you can make use of this option. And using CloudWatch API, if you wanted to collect the S3 storage details, then you can make use of this option. To remove the inactive ECS clusters, you can make use of the option. So on modifying Amazon services option will provide you the more option when regarding like a delete or stop discovery. When in case in delete option will remove the existing child monitors, whereas the which is deleted. And if in case if you're using the stop discovery, it will terminate the child monitor discovery from the removed AWS. So this is about our AWS monitor. So let me just go back to the presentation. So followed by Amazon Web Services monitoring, now let's see how we can track our key metrics on Azure services. With Applications Manager, you can get deep visibility into your Azure environment by monitoring the virtual machines, storage account, SQL database, and service buses. Apart from monitoring the performance metrics, we also have virtual machine auto discovery by using Azure SDK. So what it does is all the virtual machines that's been provisioned and running under a Azure subscription can be automatically discovered. Let's have a closer look on the new feature that we monitor, which is Azure Service Bus in our product. So Microsoft Azure Bus is a fully managed enterprise integration message broker. The key terms involved here is queues and topics. So if we are telling about the queues, it denotes about the message transfer that happens for point-to-point communication. When in case of topics, that is useful for the broadcast communication, and topic make use of subscriptions. Using Applications Manager Service Bus, you can monitor all and track the messages in the queues and also in the topics along with its subscription messages, thereby ensuring that the error-free communication in the service bus occurs. So now moving forward, let me again go to the console to show you the Azure Monitor. So this is how our monitors look like. So let me just show you how we add a Azure monitor. Similarly, how we did for the Amazon monitor, the same way we'll be adding our Azure monitor as well. Here, the basic details needs to be given like display name, subscription ID, Azure services. Like Amazon Web Services, here also you will have an option to choose your services and you can make use of the services that needs to be added. And once after doing that, we have a three exclusive discovery mode options where in case of using the AD application and the service principal, the prerequisites might differ. So for each discovery mode, the prerequisites might differ. So make sure that the prerequisites is being completed. So in case of using the first method, you have to make sure that the client ID, tenant ID, application key needs to be entered. So for the second option, the user mail and the password needs to be entered. And for the final OAuth, you have to add a new OAuth provider in the applications manager. Once after giving all the details, you will be able to add the monitor. Let me show you one of the added monitor to know more details regarding to it. So here, along with the basic details, you can get to know about the services that's been added in this particular monitor. Under the virtual machine, you can get to know about the actual metrics related to the VM like memory, disk, CPU, and all those details. So let me just show you quickly on how a virtual machine looks like. So here, as I've told you before, you can see all the details regarding to your CPU and memory related information. We have an exclusive tabs for each metric. So you will have a detailed information regarding to it. Under the CPU, you can get the percentage of the time where your process has been running in the privileged mode. And all those details regarding to the CPU can be tracked here. And you can see the amount of the committed virtual memory and available physical memory, and all those details can be tracked here under the memory. And if in case of using the disk, you can make sure like all the disk related information can be tracked here. And going back to the network, you will be able to see the network related instances details. For the thread and the process here, the total number of the context switches per second and the number of the handshakes that's been done, and also about the process states and the thread states and handles can be effectively monitored. Under the services, related information will be also monitored here. So moving back to the Azure monitor, now we'll be seeing about our SQS monitoring. So let me just show you that. So it looks like I've went back, so I'll just go back again and I'll show you how our SQS database looks like. And yes, okay. Now let's see initially the storage account option that we have. Here, using the storage account, you can monitor the details related to the vital metrics like blobs, tables, queues, and all those details. So let me just show you a individual monitor. So this is how you can get to know about the basic details regarding to the resource utilization of our each metrics, key metrics like blobs, tables, files, queues. So basically, we will be monitoring the certain similar metrics for all the metrics here. So let me show you one by one. So under the blobs, you can see about the blob capacity information and like user data and blob information, container count, all details. And the throughput will give you all the details regarding to the total ingress and egress number of the requests. Latency lets you know about the end-to-end latency successful requests that's been made. And if in case if your request has been failed, then you can get to know if the request is failed due to the throttling error or timeout error, or if in case of another client errors or other details can be mentioned also along with the successful requests. So how we do for blob, the similarly we can even get to know for your tables, files, and queues. So moving back, let me show you the Azure SQL databases. So here, this is a very important one because if in case if your DB admin is having a multiple set of databases to be monitored, this will be highly useful because they can get to know about the all query related information in a single plane. If in case if your queries is being occupied more by the top queries that's been used by the CPU and in the top queries by the IO. And the most important thing to be mentioned is like if in case if any queries has been slow running for a long time, you can get to know about all the details and the particular query related information and how long it's been running, all those details. And also the important part is you will know about the block queries, so you can easily take an immediate action, and this will highly enhance your performance of this particular Azure SQL databases. So the last monitor that we will be seeing in the Azure is Azure Service Bus. As I've mentioned before, here the key metrics is queues and topics. So we will be having a broad view about the queues and the topic working. Here under the queue, you will get to know about the queue related informations like about its current status and its size that's been used, and all those details regarding if it's active messages are present or if it's any dead letter present or the transfer messages, all the details can be mentioned. Also, you can have a admin level action like you can delete the particular queue or enable or disable it here. Also, you can get to know about your active queues that's based on the incoming requests, and if in case if there's any active queues based on the messages, all these details can be tracked over here, along with the metrics that will be helping to know more about your queue performance will be tracked here. Moving to the topics here, also we will be monitoring the same, and knowing about your subscription value and the subscription count will be helpful to know about how your topic's performance is dependent on. So this is all about our Azure Monitor. So let me just go back again to the PPT. Now that we will be discussing about the final cloud services for the day, that is Google Cloud Platform. So as we know that Google Cloud Platform offers its own set of services in where we will be having like compute and storage. And by using the applications manager, you can get to know about the cloud compute services like Compute Engine and Kubernetes Engine, along with the storage services like Cloud Storage and Cloud File Store. And we will have a deep visibility into every component of your Google Cloud environment. Let me just quickly show you how our GCP monitor looks like. Here, going back to the GCP monitor, this is how our GCP monitor looks like, where you will be able to know about the details, service related details here. And under the compute, we will be discussing about the Kubernetes engine and compute engine. So let me show you one by one. Also, you here itself you will be able to know about the current pod related, node related details for Kubernetes, and in case all the details regarding to your compute engine, like for OS platform and what is the status about it, all the details can be tracked here efficiently. And if in case if you wanted to do any admin level actions, that can be also done here. So going back to the GCP monitor, let's just see our Kubernetes monitors first. Here, the key metrics that we will be monitoring is node and pod. And as we know that Google Kubernetes Engine provides a managed environment for deploying, scaling, and managing the nodes and pod. So let's have a look on that fully. Here under the overview tab, you will get to know about the basic overview related details regarding to your cluster and pods. So knowing about your node is very important in the Kubernetes engine, so that we offer that for you. Here you can get to know about the basic related information for your pool name, like under the node pool, all the details can be mentioned. And if you wanted still more detailed information regarding to your node pool, each individual node pool, you can just click on here, and it will be showing about the node pool that's been present in these particular nodes. And if in case if you wanted if you feel any of the metrics is quite important, then you can even configure the alarm for the same. Under the pods, you will get to you will have the various tables that will let you know about the pod CPU units, and also you will get to know about the pod memory and pod volume, along with the container related details here. So moving back to our yeah, so the storage. Here we will be seeing about the cloud storage and the cloud file store, so which lets you know about the resource utilization done for the particular storage, like cloud storage or cloud file storage. So let me show you one by one. So here under the Google Cloud Storage, you can get to know here the key metrics will be like about knowing about your objects and about the bucket size, bucket related information like request, network, objects is very important here. So that we will be showing in the overview tab. And we have an exclusive tabs for each metrics. So under the request, you will be able to know about your read request, write request, and when coming to the network, you will be able to see all the network related metrics like incoming traffic, outgoing traffic, and all those in the read and write operations can be seen here. When going to the object, you will have all the view idea regarding to your top object by size and recently uploaded objects, and all the details, keen details about the objects can be categorized here under the categorized wise details. So this is about our Google Cloud Storage. Moving back, I'll show you about the Google Cloud File Store. Here we will be focusing on the disk usage, on the usage percentage of that particular file store. So here we will be having the key metrics like IO throughput, IO operations, and IO latency. So all this can be effectively tracked, and if in case, as I reminded you before, you can even configure alarm if there's any vital metrics present. So this is about our GCP monitor. Let me go back to the presentation. So as an add-on information, I would like to tell you about the actions that we can enhance the cloud computing performances. As I've mentioned before, we have out-of-box notification system where you can send email, SMS, Slack action, and ticket action. And not just that, you can integrate with a third-party tool like MS Teams, Telegram, PagerDuty, and this can be done using the REST API. And final exclusive option that we have is you can use perform the cloud actions like start, stop, restart your cloud resources for your Amazon EC2 instances. And if there's any threshold is affected, this can be automatically done, and you will get notified via mail. So coming to our final topic of the series, which will be about the cloud analytics that boosts your performance, we have a different reports in order to achieve this requirement. So the first and the foremost one is the forecast report, where you will be able to analyze the performance and we will be predicting the future. And just to inform you that we will be using the machine learning. So let me quickly go to the UI and show you how a forecast report looks like. So under reports, you have to click on to the forecast report. Not just forecast report, we have a wide range of reports option here. You can even explore that in the demo page that I've shown you before. Here, make sure that under the forecast report, you choose the selective monitor type. So now we will be seeing our the cloud apps. Here, all the attributes will be listed. So let me just see for CPU utilization. So knowing about your CPU utilization will be very much helpful for you to analyze the resource utilization. So here I will be, you can be seeing that for an EC2 instance, I'm seeing my CPU utilization for current now. And I also have an option where I can filter it. So since I have a limited number of EC2 instance running, I am having here. So if in case if you're having a multiple instances that's running, you can filter the options here. And also we have a time period option where you can compare with those details can be tracked. And the main point is like you have to make sure that the toggle switch here for machine learning is being enabled. And we have two types of report, that is for forecast by growth 10 and forecast by utilization. Here for growth 10, you can even compare it with the with a specific time period. Let's say, let me just show you for comparing it with the 3 months. So here like seeing with the, here you can see like this is the February month and I am just comparing with my third month, that is like for June. And the one main thing that I need to be conveying you, that is like here you can see for forecast by utilization, if in case if you wanted in future, you can get alert like if that particular value is been exceeding beyond 80 to 90 or 90 to 100. So this will be like making you, and this will highly increase the efficiency of that particular cloud services. And not just that, here you can even see the individual view by clicking on to it. So if in case if I wanted to see one specific instance that's running, then I can get to know, and based on that I can plan my utilization values. So this is about our forecast report. Let me go back again to the presentation. And the second report that we will be seeing is trend analysis report. So this report will be mainly focusing on the monitor attribute related information. And here you can see we have three types of report that we have. And let me that show you all that in a real time example. So just like we opted for forecast report, we have to make sure that we choose the trend analysis report, and you can choose the one of the monitor. So let me just check for the any of the cloud monitor. Okay. Here, let me choose for GCP. And here, as you can see, you can even get for attributes, so which I'll be telling you now. And an at a glance report lets you know about all the bird's eye view information for your monitor. Here you can get all the attributes related information. So coming to the summary report, here it gives you the gist of overall metrics for your particular monitor. And as I've told you before, you can even choose your custom period, like a time interval can be chosen. And we do have an options where you can download this report, or you can send it, or you can print it. This downtime history is basically an availability report that lets you know if it's the particular monitor is in down state, or how what was it happen. Not just for today, you can even get it to know about the like for collective time period. Let me show you for any of the attribute. So here you can see like by using I am able to see all the details regarding to the availability of my Google Cloud Platform. So here we have a option where you can get to know about your 7 days and about your 30 days report. So since I will just click on to the 7 days view icon. So we have a various set of report options that will be helpful for you to check the performances. Let me show you that one by one. Under the history report, you can get to know about all the average level details regarding. So you can even cross check with it like past details. So this will be highly helpful to track any issue that has been occurred before. So hour of day is an average kind of a report where you, if in a particular day, if in for a particular hours, like for let's say if you wanted to know a detail regarding to in a today's date, but you wanted to know about 11 a.m. or for in 11 a.m. what has been occurred and what is the value in present in that particular time, all those details can be tracked here. Likewise, you can see for day of week report, and moving to the statistical report that gives you the standard deviation value for that particular attribute. He chat gives you all details in a color code based, and also you can even customize it. So this is about our trend analysis report. Let me show you the last final report type that we will be checking now. That is capacity planning report. This is one of the important report type because it lets you know about your CPU resource and memory disk utilization values. So if in case if it's the like knowing about your knowing about your present values will be highly cutting down the wastage of the computing resources, and to make sure that you have to define the utilization threshold. So let me show you with an example. So under the capacity planning, you can choose, let me just show you for any of the virtual machine here. So let for seeing for the undersized, here you can get to know if a particular virtual machine has been like undersized. Let's say if it's been like not been used for a long time, then you can get to know about here. Likewise, you can see if it's been used more, that will be tracked in the oversize. If and if it's never been used and the resources has been idle for a long time, that can be tracked in the idle size. Yeah, the main thing is that you need to configure the threshold. So let me show you that. You can choose the details here, and if you they have there are certain rules and conditions that you can opt based on your requirement. And if you wanted to disable certain utilization metrics, then you can do the same. So this is about our reports that we will be discussing. With that being said, I would like you to thank every one of you and have a good day.